Welcome. This is my technique for adding the weather window to a normal schedule forecasting exercise. Now, why this technique becomes particularly important is only in schedules that have a number of activities. This particular case, this is a 692 activity schedule with a fair number of those activities going to be affected by the weather window. So there has to be a technique other than a activity by activity assignment available. So as another caveat, the schedule here was developed in P6 8.2, and we'll be using PERTmaster, or Primavera Risk Analysis, for the forecasting. And this is PRA 8.7.52. So you now might ask, what is the winter window? Well, PERTmaster defines the weather window as weather conditions that result in uncertainty in the normal periods of shutdown. And they use the example of the canal freezing. In our case, we have a scheduled shutdown from the 1st of June to the 1st of September for the winter. This is in the Southern Hemisphere, obviously. And I just defined these the reasons for shutting down this way. But what this really means is our model is plus or minus 2 weeks, which means we might have to have an early shutdown, or we might have a late startup, or vice versa. We might have a late shutdown or an early resumption. And this is plus or minus the 2 weeks that I mentioned before. Now, normal winter shutdown is the 1st of June to 31st of August. And we have 3 shutdowns for this schedule. The winter window is both plus or minus for both start and finish dates. And another thing I might mention, or what I found to be important, is that my work week starts on a Monday. And so any of my start dates, and you'll see this when we construct the weather window, any of my start dates will have to be on a Monday, and any of my finish dates will have to be on a Sunday. So let me show you what I did. Okay, this is where it starts. This is our P6 schedule. It's about 700 activities, 692 I believe. And as you can see, it's over a 3-year span, and we have several winter shutdowns. So we're going to have several activities that are going to be affected by this weather window. So our first action we have to do is we have to let PERTmaster know that it's going to have a weather window resource. So the best way to do that is add that here in P6. And the way I did that was just essentially establish a code and then did a global on this. And this is my range here. And so all I did is just take the expanded range. We're starting 2 weeks early on the early start, and finishing plus or minus, finishing 2 weeks later. But within that, we're going to have a plus or minus 2 week window. I'll show you that later on. So what we're trying to do here is just establish this parameter here, this W, and we've done that. And then we've got, once we use that, we just use that to sort. And once we're finished sorting, then we add the winter window resource, which you can see is non-dimensional. It has no value, and I don't want it to have any values. It's just there merely so PERTmaster, and by the way, I'm using PERTmaster for Primavera Risk Analysis. It just rolls off the tongue a little easier. So that's what we're trying to do. And one thing I do is I export everything with the XER file, because I find my activities that have some constraints, even though these are soft constraints, are not picked up if I go through the tools command. So we're now into PERTmaster, and this is what it looks like after we've done all our magic to get it in there. And I've shown that before, so I won't go into that again. What I will show you now is how we add the winter window. And again, the key here is this W and the resource. the weather window resource. So we go into risk, we go into weather modeling, and then we import all our weather data. And you'll do this for whether you're going to do a weather event or a weather window. Now, in my particular case, I've set this up beforehand. And so this is what it looks like. And I'll show you where I did that in Excel. And the easiest way is just start with the first one, then export to Excel, and do the cut and paste in here so that you have this and it's available at all times. So in other words, you could have added the new winter calendar right here and then exported that and then finished it. So we've done all of that, and one of the things that we want to do is to make sure that this has been done properly. So we're going to use this activity here, this 8150. And so now if I look at that, I just want to make sure that the weather window has been added. What I want to do now is delete it because I just want to make sure that it came in okay. Actually, that was kind of a dumb thing to do, but that's okay. Now we're ready. We're just going to go ahead and run the analysis since we've already set it up. And then here's our histogram. The only important thing here is that we want to compare it to what we did on the other one. And the best way to do that is in the distribution analyzer. So this is what it says is going to happen with the addition of a plus or minus window to a normal window. Not major, but it's enough. It's approximately 2 weeks is what you would kind of expect, though I can't say I really know what to expect here. So this is how I did it. I hope you find it helpful. Again, the key here, one thing I found, I don't know if this worked for me. I've had some problems here before, but the date format. I found that I had to have a 4-digit year. Otherwise, it seemed like PertMaster became a bit unstable. So I hope this helps. Hope you've enjoyed it. And let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for your time.